She yelled, "Get out! I can't believe you're bringing up marriage after 5 years." And I just stood there for a second before saying, "Okay, understood." After that, I didn't argue. I didn't try to fix it. I waited for the right moment, moved out while she was at yoga, and left the ring box on the kitchen counter, empty, with a note explaining exactly where the $15,000 diamond had gone. That's when her panic started. I'm 31, and I had been with my girlfriend Ashley for 5 years and 2 months. We lived together for 3 of those years. I covered about 70% of the rent because I made more money. I never had an issue with that. I thought that was normal when you're building a future together. At least, I thought we were building something together. Looking back, I was the only one doing any building. About 2 months before everything fell apart, I decided it was time to take the next step. 5 years felt like the right point. Not too early, not too late, just right. We had talked about the future before, but always in a vague, non-committal way. Kids someday. Maybe buying a house. Nothing concrete. She never shut the idea down, but she never leaned into it either. I convinced myself she was just waiting for me to make it official. So I bought a ring. It was a 1.88-carat oval diamond on a platinum band. Total cost came out to $15,200 after tax. I had been saving for it for over a year in a separate account she didn't know about. I spent months researching, comparing diamonds, learning about cuts, clarity, settings. I picked everything myself, and honestly, I was proud of it. My plan was to propose on our anniversary, which was 3 weeks away. But before doing that, I wanted to talk. Not the proposal itself, just a conversation. I wanted to make sure we were aligned on timing, expectations, and what we both wanted moving forward. I didn't want to blindside her. That turned out to be a huge mistake. It happened on a Sunday night while we were making dinner. She was chopping vegetables. I was cooking pasta. Music was playing in the background. Everything felt normal, comfortable, easy. I thought it was the perfect moment. So I brought it up carefully. "Hey, I've been thinking about us lately. About our future. I wanted to talk about where you see things going, like marriage eventually." She stopped cutting, slowly put the knife down. Then she looked at me. The expression on her face wasn't confusion. It was shock, almost like I had said something completely unreasonable. "Marriage?" "Yeah," I said. "We've been together 5 years. I love you. I figured it's something we should talk about." She stared at me and said, "Are you serious right now?" I was already thrown off. "Yes, I just thought it would be good to discuss." "Get out." I actually took a step back. "What? I can't believe you're bringing up marriage after 5 years like it's some kind of deadline. Like I owe you something. This is exactly the pressure I've been dreading. You're trying to trap me." I said, "Trap you? I'm just trying to have a conversation." "I need space," she said. "I can't even look at you right now." She was shaking. Not slightly, actually shaking. Like I had threatened her instead of asking about our future. I tried to calm her down. I asked what I had done wrong. She didn't answer clearly. She just kept repeating that she needed space, that I was suffocating her, that she couldn't believe I would do this after everything. After everything. That phrase stuck in my head. After everything. After 5 years of me paying most of the bills, planning our trips, cooking most of the meals, showing up to every one of her family events as her +1, while she still wasn't ready to meet my parents. I slept on the couch that night. The next day, she didn't come out of the bedroom until around noon. When she did, she acted like nothing had happened. She made coffee, sat down, started scrolling through her phone, didn't acknowledge me. I asked if we could talk about what happened. She said, "There's nothing to talk about. I overreacted a little, but you need to understand marriage isn't something I'm ready to discuss. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. Until then, drop it." Drop it. 5 years, and I was supposed to just drop it. Wait with no timeline, no clarity. Just sit there until she decided I was worth committing to. Something shifted in me at that moment. Or maybe something broke. Okay, I said. Understood. She looked relieved, like the situation was resolved. Then she went back to her phone. I went to work. But I wasn't thinking about work. I was thinking about what had just happened. And the more I thought about it, the clearer it became. She wasn't afraid of commitment. She was afraid of committing to me. There's a difference. She wanted everything the relationship gave her: stability, financial support, companionship, but without ever making it official. I was a placeholder, good enough to live with, not good enough to marry. For the next week, I acted normal. Went to work, came home, we cooked together, watched TV, and she was suddenly cheerful again, relaxed, even affectionate, like I had passed some test by dropping it. Meanwhile, I was quietly getting my life in order. I found an apartment, month-to-month lease, available immediately. I signed the paperwork on Tuesday. I rented a small storage unit and started moving my things out gradually. A box here, a bag there. She didn't notice. Or maybe she didn't pay attention unless it directly affected her. On Thursday, I returned the ring to the jeweler. They had a 30-day return policy. I was on day 22. I got a full refund, $15,200 back in my account. Saturday morning, she left for her usual 90-minute hot yoga class. Same routine every week for years. The second her car pulled away, I moved. Fast. Most of my essentials were already packed: clothes, books, electronics, documents. The larger furniture was hers anyway. She had insisted on choosing everything when we moved in. It took me about 45 minutes to clear out everything that belonged to me. When I was done, the apartment looked almost the same. She probably wouldn't notice right away. But I left something behind. On the kitchen counter, I placed the ring box. Empty. Inside, I left a note. You asked me to drop it, so I did. The ring I was going to propose with has been returned. $15,200 is now going toward my new apartment deposit and first month's rent. Thank you for making it clear where I stood after 5 years. Don't contact me. We're done. I set my key next to it, took one last look around, and left. I turned my phone off for 3 hours. When I turned it back on, I had 23 missed calls and 41 messages. At first, the messages were confused. Where are you? Why is your stuff gone? What is this box? Then she read the note. Call me right now. You're joking, right? This is a sick joke. You can't just leave like this. We need to talk like adults. I can't believe you would do this to me after everything I've done for you. The voicemails were worse. Crying, screaming, demanding I come back, calling me a coward, then switching to begging me to talk to her. I didn't respond. Around 6 p.m., her mom started texting me. Apparently, Ashley had called her in hysterics. Her mom's messages stood out. You need to call her right now. She's devastated. I don't know what happened, but abandoning her isn't the answer. She told me you were going to propose. She was excited. I don't understand why you would leave like this. I stared at that for a while. She told her mom she was excited, but when I brought it up, she told me to get out. I replied, Did she tell you what she said when I tried to talk about marriage? Ask her, then decide who abandoned who. I never got a response. That night, I sat alone in my new apartment eating pizza out of the box. It felt strange, quiet, but honestly, the relief was immediate. A week later, things escalated. A lot of people asked why I didn't just break up with her face to face. The answer is simple. If I had, she would have convinced me to stay. She would have cried, apologized, promised things would change, and I would have believed her, like I always had before. Leaving was the only way to actually leave. Day 2, she showed up at my workplace. She walked into the lobby and told the receptionist there was a family emergency. The receptionist buzzed me, sounding worried. I went downstairs. There she was. Puffy eyes, messy hair, still wearing what looked like the same yoga pants from Saturday. We need to talk, she said. There's nothing to talk about, I replied. You don't get to decide that. I have a say too. You had 5 years to say something. I'm done. She started crying right there. Coworkers walked by and stared. She grabbed my arm. Please, I made a mistake. I was scared. I didn't mean it. I love you. I want to marry you. I said, you screamed at me to get out when I mentioned marriage. You called me suffocating. You said I was trying to trap you. I was having a bad day, she said. You caught me off guard. That's not how I really feel. That is exactly how you feel, I said. You just didn't expect consequences. She switched tactics immediately. Fine. You want the truth? I was planning to propose to you on our anniversary. I had everything planned. You ruined it by bringing it up early. I stared at her. You were going to propose to me? Yes. With what ring? Silence. You don't have one. I was going to buy one. With what money? I've seen your savings. You spent $400 on a jacket last month. She had no answer. Security escorted her out. Later, my boss asked if everything was okay. I gave a short explanation. He was understanding, but told me to keep personal issues out of the workplace. Fair. Day 4, mutual friends started reaching out. I heard what happened. Don't you think you're being harsh? She loves you. Maybe try counseling. I asked all of them the same thing. Did she tell you what she said when I brought up marriage? 2 said she told them I pressured her and had been emotionally manipulative. 1 said she described me as controlling and jealous. Controlling. Jealous. Me. The guy who couldn't even get her to meet his parents. I told them the truth. Everything. How she screamed at me. How she told her mom she was excited about a proposal while calling me suffocating. How I paid most of the bills while she spent money on designer clothes. 2 went quiet. 1 said they didn't want to take sides. Fine. 1 less friend. Day 6, she demanded her things. I hadn't taken anything of hers, but suddenly my belongings were ours in her mind. My PlayStation, my mixer, things I owned before we even moved in. I sent proof, receipts, told her to stop contacting me. She didn't. Day 7, her dad called. I had met him twice. He said, "You don't just walk out like that." I said, "I tried to make a bigger commitment. She told me to get out, so I did." She didn't mean it that way. I didn't know that. That's why I left. He paused, then said, "She really thought you were going to propose. Then why did she react like that?" I don't know. Neither do I. And I'm done trying to figure it out. I hung up. That was it. But one thing kept bothering me. She told everyone I was going to propose. She expected it. But when I tried to talk about it, she exploded. The only explanation that made sense. She wanted the proposal. She wanted the ring, the wedding, everything, but only on her terms. The moment I stepped outside her script, it became a problem. Some people don't want a partner, they want a performance. I was done performing, and I'm not going back.